Hello, hello. How you doing? Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Today, I wanted to talk about. Give me a second.
Talk about you guys know that I travel a lot. So this video is going to be about what I have seen that may happen in the future. And I say it may because that future isn't set on in stone. The future are just myriad, I think it will be in English. Thank you, of possibilities of things that may happen or could happen depending or our intentions. So this is what I wanted to do today. So first, I wanted to ask all of your higher selves, your guys, to guide me, to assist me, so I can remember all the things that they told me in the morning that they wanted me to say. I'm not going to go into the depth of conspiracy theories because I don't want to see the fear or influence your own choices. I want to go beyond into the point of New Earth where we made it, where we nailed it. If you have questions, please type your questions, type your intentions. I'm going to do a little bit of light language at the end so we can connect with our future self and can guide us in the things we haven't been able to figure out yet. First of all, one of the things that I am seeing in the future, it is at some point in my future timelines, I see that we're going to be having a debate about if artificial intelligence holds consciousness and it doesn't. At some point, we're going to have more artificial devices that are going to become our assistants, but in some point they're going to become a part of us. Like I see myself in the future, probably like 2 centuries or one more century, I'm not sure yet. My telephone, it's kind of like a device that I have, kind of like a partial helmet, and I see myself that I mutate a little bit from the humans that we perceive now. One of the things that I can see it is that we become more static, more good looking, more taller, and all the things that we perceive right now as imperfections, they're going to be minor and minor and minor. And I see that biology is going to be a huge pinpoint in our evolution. I mean, I'm sharing my evolution of my soul because generically they're going to be able to hack diseases, viruses, mutations that we perceive as defects, and therefore we're going to have a longer lives, like 200, 300 centuries maybe, because we're going to be able that rectify instantly any maybe we all have cancer, let's say, but not everyone develop that. So I see that the generics are going to be that sharp and safe. I must clarify that safe that we're going to be able to, how do I say that in English? Inactivate genes of cancer, diabetics, heart failure, things like that, because we're going to go more conscious in a more closer future, I see that the new kids are going to be born, are going to be immune to viruses, COVID, whatever, all those things. They're going to be, kids are going to born with a very badass immunological system that they won't get sick at all, right? I'm not sure exactly when that will happen, but I see that that is a good thing. After all our fight against COVID and pharma and government and restrictions, and if I should vaccinate or not, at the end, yes, yes, Christine, because we're going to be able to deconstruct, I think it is a word in English, those ancient and very old distorted codes that comes through our lineage about pandemic, disease, war, division, all those things. And then the first proof is going to be that some people are going to have a type of mutation that they are going to be sickless. They are not going to have disease at all, and they are going to have very huge capacity to hold pain, almost like painless. Probably that could be. I'm seeing pieces. Another thing that I'm seeing and that my guys wanted to say it is that I know some people is fighting about disclosure. I think disclosure it is already happening, but we haven't realized yet. Of course, we may not see the ships and the aliens that physically prove with us, but there is a shift in our consciousness that make us more mm, acceptable or an allowance to the fact that they may be live outside of this plane and that at some point we're gonna meet them, right? Right now, it has happened through channelings, through meditations, to dream state, only for the ones that have agreed with alien races to be contacted. Because it can be scary, guys. It can be scary because their energy is so high that if the connection is not done in harmony, and I have experienced this twice. One aspect of me of the future comes to do kind of like a surgery of me. And the first time that I was in that type of surgery, I could feel myself all, how do I say that? Fragmented in energy patterns, and then I could feel like a needle and like laser lights in different parts of my body, and I could feel like burning sensations. It was a little bit uncomfortable, and what was a little bit scary for me because in that moment I thought, okay, I asked my higher self to be in charge before I went to sleep. And if this is happening, it is for the highest good. And then I thought, why I am scared? Because I knew they were me from the future that they were traveling back to assist me with my body. But I got scared because I was not in charge of it. I knew my higher mind was in charge, but consciously, this aspect, it was not. And for a few seconds, I fight it. I had resistance, and that I had to make sense and then allow it to happen. But guess what? Next day, I was physically all over the place. And the times that I have had a type of alien intervention, I have some physical discomfort, headache. I feel so tired because my body needs to regenerate. I hope that makes sense. So, what guide said to me it is that that feeling of I'm not in charge because you are more powerful, because you can see my aura, you can see my wounds, my pains. For us, it freaks us out like in a survivor level sometimes. So that feeling, it is in some cases, I'm not saying all, but in many could be more, it can cause more impact than the fact that we want to meet them. But at the same time, when you are in front of an alien with a very, very high frequency, that's why sometimes we don't remember because the light can feel as, I'm gonna try to explain the best English that I can. It feels like an attack because their chakras are so powerful that they have to lower themselves down the most that they can do and rise ourselves the most that we can hold so no harm it is done. Because their speed, it is like, let's say, like 400 miles per hour Ferrari, and probably I am like an old Chevy standard, right? So my slowness trying to go the fastest in physical, it is, I think it's going to be gradually. The more that we go high, we're going to be able to get in contact with them. Now, there are different types of aliens that we can get in contact with. They could be in high 4D in another plane, and they could be benevolent or malevolent. They can be 5D, and they can be being of light or physical, or they can be only light. And that will determine the type of connection that you will have. All those abductions and war alike negative aliens connections, it is because they are in a lower frequency realm that we are connecting with them for some type of reason. Normally, when we start astral traveling, we first of all go to all shitty places, and then you evolve into the fun, loving, magical, awesome places that you can connect with. Sometimes you remember, sometimes you don't. But that disclosure, I think, is happening within all of us first. Because I think the proof for them, at least for my guides, is that we can accept each other. I mean, the Democrats, the reptilian, the Democrats, the Republicans, the blacks, the whites, the legal, the illegal, the rich, the poor, and all those differences that we have. And when we can be more unified as a community, we're going to start having more physical proof that we're connected with them. I think sometimes we bypass that we are connected, because we're not aware about their presence. Um, that may not be that recognizable, but it will be. And I think in the more closer future, like proof of the proof of Atlantis is going to be found in some place, or things like that from our ancient history that are going to prove that they have been with us all the time. I hope that makes sense. But when I see in the future that we are having disclosure with them, that is going to be like in my next life. So it's soon. I don't know what time that it is, but I see that I am a teenager, probably like 18, 19, and I look a little bit different than this physicality. I have bigger eyes and I have bigger forehead. And I see that we are taller because in this life I'm short. I am like 5 feet probably. No, yes, I think I'm 5 feet. But I see that we are like 6, 7 feet. Some people like 8 feet. We are like taller and skinnier, and we are like super smart. And I see that we travel, and it was like in this life for young people, maybe it's going to be fun to go to the disco or hiking or skateboard or whatever. But our fun it is to go into the portals to Earth to get contacted by aliens. So we are driving and then we are so exciting, like high exciting, kind of like in drugs, but not because we are using physical drugs, more like high in the light. I don't know how to say it, because it's adventurous and it represents a discovery. And I see that I think I am in US in a park kind of look like San Francisco, because we're driving in the bridge of San Francisco, and I recognize this. And then we get in the ocean, and then within the ocean, I see that a vortex, it is physically created. I mean, the water starts swirling around, and then we enter, and then it's like a tunnel, like for 5 seconds. And then at the end of the tunnel is like a very bright light. And then when we reach into the bright light, we are pulled up and absorbed into a spaceship that, in my traveling, it looks like made of consciousness. And this is when we connect with very, very high frequency, because those ships are made of light. It's kind of like Merkaba of them that can be visible physically, but it's all interacting. And then I remember that when I am inside, I am greeted by a Pleiadian that looked so hot that I'm just like, so hot, because he was like blonde, straight hair. Uh, I'm gonna try to draw him, and then he welcomed me in. And then outside, the spaceship looked like so small, just like a saucer. But inside, it was like a huge city, and everything. It was not physical. It was more like jelly-like, like liquid light that I could touch and then go through. And then if I, let's say that the wall, it was kind of like silverish, right? And then when I am in, I actually, because I'm very curious about it, I put my hands through, and then I open it, and I kind of create kind of like a window, and then I can see through, and then I can see that we're living San Francisco in that life, that I think it should be no more than the 2300. So we are still in the 20, probably at the end. I don't know, because my friend who is with me, he looks like cat alike, like his eyes more like cat alike, and we are like four or six. And then when we enter, I don't remember what happened, because we start spinning so fast, and then I kind of see like the Star Trek thing when you travel in the velocity of a light, and then I don't remember. But at least in my timeline, let me see if I have questions. Okay, another thing that I see, guys, it is before I forget, at some point, I think the ocean is going to take over the land. So many of the cities that have ocean, kind of like Florida and California and Cancun, they are going to lose part of the border, because something will happen in Gaia, that the ocean is going to be more vast and strong. And I think the ocean is going to take back some of the cities. So I think our continents are going to change. I don't see the solar flare that many people channel about being done in one day and then boom. I see that it's going to be gradually, and gradually Earth is going to be changing her own magnetics, because I think, at least in my timeline, this is what I'm sharing. Mm, how do I say that? We are not in a destructive one, because we have those in the parallel dimensions, but not in this one. I think it's going to be gradually. I'm not going to say that everything is going to be unicorns and rainbows. I can ask my guide to send healing if you want, but all my videos are healing, so just type your intention. We are all receiving healing. And because of these COVID vaccines, things are going to change. And I think at the bigger picture, the positive things that are going to happen, it is that we're going to learn not to get sick anymore. So don't feel dragged down about the news and all the things that are being shared. Of course, we need to change. I'm not saying that all is good, because there are certain things that we should address in a more responsible way. But I think the responsibility starts within all of us, with our own families, with our own body. We don't have the education, at least I did not have it, to pay attention to my body. I mean, I used to smoke before. I used to get drunk, not sleep, drink mustard, eat Doritos and many things that I should have not. But now I'm being conscious about the things that work out for me and the things that I like potion. But at the same time, beyond all of those things, potion it is being sad, being angry, being frustrated, being mad about the things you cannot change. So there is always an area of opportunity for us to create change. And I think in a more closer future, one thing that I have seen in my timeline, it is that at some point, I think it's going to happen in this one, cities are going to get divided because some people, how do I say this? Some people are going to choose to create its own rules and regulations, separating themselves from government and communities. I think they are going to begin in the 2033. They're going to be like, how do I say this in English? The beginning of what New Earth is going to be. All of those years before 2023, many things are going to happen. Susan, tap your attention, and my guides, I'm doing a lot of work. My guides and Menso can help you through this video. You can get the assistance that you would like to. Set your intention, and it's gonna be done. Mm. Okay, I think the first change that we are going to have physical, it is that catch is gonna be gone. The economic system, I think, is the first one that is going to be transformed into a new type of exchange. In the exchange that I see in New Earth or closer to New Earth, it is that somehow we're going to have a type of exchange. I don't know if it's going to be electronic or what, that is going to be connected to your own energy and consciousness. So it's going to be an exchange that is going to be not associated with physical stuff, but more like energy exchange. I hope that makes sense. I think the next step in many of us, it is going to be to build community, the community that we want to have, the community that has the school programs that we want, the hospitals, the doctors, the government. And in this part is where we're going to be very active for the next probably 10 or 20 years. Because before going into New Earth, I think we're going to be in high 4D for a while, gradually unifying all of us together in unity consciousness so we can move on into that golden age. Another thing that I'm seeing it is that in governments or eldest consorts that I think is going to be, it is that plants, animals, crystals, minerals, they're going to have a voice. I saw a type of congressman regulation in the ONU. I think it, I hope it is what it is called in English. That is the organization for every country. In Spanish is ONU. I don't know how in English that will be, but I think it is in New York. Well, it is like type of council made from all earth, from all countries. And I saw that at some point we add plants, animals, and minerals that will include crystals and oil and things like that. So I see that we are doing regulations, taking in consideration what animals want, what plants want, and what the all habitants of Gaia wants. I see that we're going to end speaking less and filming more, and it already started, but that filming more is going to activate what we're going to have in the next 3 years, I think, for sure. And this is the good news. We're going to activate our gifts from the light, ones that we used to have in ancient times, and they were taken away because we misused them. like when we kick out of the paradise, kind of like that, and that it is teletransportation, telepresence, telekinesis, telepathy, and many, many new gifts that they are being activated, especially in younger people, and they do it like piece of cake. Like I was talking with a client, and she says, "I smell whoever is going to come to my home 20 minutes before they come here." Because each of us have a very distinguished smell. And I was like, that's so cool. I smell some things, but it's not kind of like my thing. But for example, I noticed that I am starting doing telepathy with my closer tribe, like my daughter, because she's open to my brother, my mom, some of my friends, and that is an awesome thing. I see that we are going to create our own WhatsApp things from our heart. I hope that makes sense. I know the tribes here, they are called Yaquis. They connect through the trees and they have their own WhatsApp thing in their mind, and only the elders have access to, right? So it's not something new, guys. We're not doing anything new. We are just remembering what we can do, what we are, and taking, how do I say that in English? Being sovereign about not allowing anyone, thank you so much, for the stars, to choose for us. Like, this is going to be what is going to happen in the next few years. Like, why you are going to choose if I should vaccinate or not, what I should eat, how I take care of my body. But it's not only about other people choosing for us. It's more about not letting anyone to make that choice because we are responsible, conscious, and honest about our own space. But at the same time, taking in consideration the space of others. Like, for example, stars in your own neighborhood, like not having, not throwing garbage away, or simple things that we all can do right now so we can create a better world for all of us. I hope that makes sense. Many things are going to change, guys. 2022 comes with a year of huge, unexpected things that are going to come. So hold on to yourself very tightly, whatever makes you feel happy, joyful, peaceful, full, rainbow, unicorn, loving, whatever, hold on to it. And at the same time, be aware about what is working out for you and what it is not. Because 2022 is going to be a year for us to really practice that love and light shit that we preach that much, but not always makes sense in the physical. Because meditating, it's easy. It's easy. But it's not easy holding the space of love when someone is speaking mean to you. Those things represent our practice for all of us to realize that we have changed and we are not wounded anymore, we are not blocked anymore, we are not broken, we have never been. The universe supports us that much that create a reality where it appears unbroken, unblocked, and need to be fixed. When in reality, we already are. The journey is the experience where I can remember how it is it that I become a golden human angel in the future. How it is it that I ascend? How it is that I know what I know? How it is I can do messages if you type your questions, but mainly I wanted to talk about things that I am seeing because I think right now, guys, we have we haven't been able to see the bigger picture about all the things that are happening because we can only see the madness, the bad, because it's what is being shown in the now. But in the now, there are beautiful things that are being seeded that are going to grow and bloom in the future that we have no idea yet. I having sessions with people that are very confused about certain channelings about what will happen. If you listen to a channeler and it makes you feel afraid, wanting to spend $500 in Walmart because you may don't have food or whatever, be aware about if that was helping you or not. Sometimes listening to many different streams can be confusing. So take your time to discern between the words about what it is said from me or for anyone, because the most important voice, it is the voice that we have right here. I hope that makes sense. If I channel that grays are coming in 5 years and they're going to take newborns to make them hybrids, it's because I'm seeing that in my reality. But it does not mean it's yours unless you believe me. So discernment, it is what we are learning now. The information, it is confusing. I see sometimes 2025 short dreams about things that are happening, and sometimes I just like, what's going on, right? What the fuck? What do I do, right? And then I said, okay, hold on. And then I realized that some messages are not for me to understand. I just need to observe what it is happening in a reality that may not be mine. Yes, I hope that makes sense. Realities are many. We are in a big network that is called Matrix. And then in that matrix, we have many, many, many different universe, millions, trillions. In fact, I create my own universe, but I invite all of you to share with me. You guys create your own, and so on, and so on, and so on. But this 2020 is going to be intense in many aspects. Whatever is happening in your life right now, it is what you are meant to work out so it doesn't long or last for 2022, because in December we're going to have the choice to change timeline. How do you change timeline? You visualize, you feel, you believe, but truly believe what you want to experience. And then the world inside of you slowly shift into that reality because we have time lag, right? But they change. They do change. That's a fact, and that is a proof because my life has changed. But it's not instantly, even though in any second we can change into a different reality. But we have to believe that. Another thing, 2023 is going to be a year of huge awakening. You guys have no idea. People that are struggling right now, normal people that may not even think they're going to wake up, they're going to wake up. It's going to be a huge change. 2023, 2024, 2025, we're going to change completely the paradigm, and we're going to initiate in 2026 into a new cycle that is going to be the cycle that is going to allow community in transition to new earth to be. So all the people that right now is learning how to grow their own vegetables, to heal themselves, it is because it's going to be needed. If you feel like going to psychic and exploring is going to be needed because your intuition tell you where you should go and where you shouldn't. It's like the voice, it's like if we have an Alexa within that guide us, like we use Siri or Alexa, right? Or Google, whatever. And I normally say, hey Siri, can you please put an alarm 7 a.m. because I do have whatever. And then it's just like an assistant electronically, like a very low artificial intelligence we have created. But that, our intuition is like the most powerful one we have. But we have to practice it, work it out, and at the same time, listen, because I think it's working all the time. I think sometimes we are the ones who won't listen because we're not used to. let me do a little bit of light language to see what else I'm meant to share you guys about the future. And then if you guys have questions, please type them in, hint on anything, and then I'm going to go for questions. Another thing that I see that is coming, it is at some point we're gonna have all liquid diet before moving into only feeding from air and light, like plants and water. At some point, I think we're going to move and disregard heavy food at all. I saw myself that I was doing like a shake, and then I was saying like, I want zinc, I want vitamin B, I want potassium, I wanted, I don't know, many things. So I thought that that was cool. Let me see. My internet is changing because right here they are changing, they are installing the 5G antennas or whatever, so it's in and out, and not being able to read completely the messages sometimes. Yes, that's an excellent question. How do you prepare? You prepare by being at peace, by centering yourself. If someone comes to take the rag from your feet, like shake your balance, discern between the information. But I think meditation is going to be key, but at the same time being present. Because another side effect of New Earth, it is that you start perceiving all different timelines, like me, and then it can be confusing. Sometimes I don't remember people. The other day, I have a friend that I met 3 years ago, and I have talked to her for a long time, and she's a client too. And the other day, I knew her, but I couldn't remember her name at all. And I struggled like for an hour because somehow, sometimes I feel that my energy is like all over the place because I work with many people at a collective level. So for me, I have to make sure I'm present. I'm right here because I can be doing a drawing and then I can be doing astral traveling. And then sometimes I receive messages, things like that, because my channel is so open that it can be confusing. I forget stuff, things that I don't remember at all. The other day, I was talking with my ex about something that happened in my life, and then he swear it was 6 years, but in my mind, I remember that it was only a year and a half. So the past changed because I think I changed timeline. So sometimes I have those things that it's 4 o'clock and then 1 hour later it's two, and then I said, what the fuck was going on? Right? So it helps me to be present. It helps me to be present because when I said, okay, Graham, where are you? I'm right here. I feel my heart. I breathe a little bit. I ground. And then I'm able to stabilize my energy that is shifting, 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 shifting. Sometimes in the morning, I feel the downloads being activated, like when you, I don't know if that happens to you guys, but when you turn on your phone, that it took like couple seconds for all the apps so you can use them. I have that. I sense that. And then sometimes I say, no, no, don't download that. I want that to remember or whatever. And if I have something important, I have to write it because otherwise I forgot. Because I changed the timeline that I was when I was asleep, or I don't know. But I think identify what works for you. For me, I go back to exercise outdoors. I started waking up 2 hours earlier than when I was waking up and not having sessions in the morning because I realized that I need 2 hours so I can ground myself in this reality so I have peace the rest of the day. So I go, I walk, I have my peace with the trees, with the sun, with whatever, and then I slowly adjust into this reality, and then I can do whatever I need to do for the rest of the day. But this is the change that I did. Another thing that I feel it is if I don't sleep more than 8 or 9 hours, I feel all drained. I have to go to sleep early, like 10 p.m. the most, 9. Sometimes I have sessions with people and they said, "Oh, when I leave it's 1 a.m." And I said, "How could you?" I can. For my body, it doesn't work. Another thing that I feel it is for my body, because my energy is so high the majority of the time, I need a little bit of heaviness sometimes so I have balance, like chocolate or ice cream or coffee or a little bit of chicken or something that can ground me because it, I am trying to play around with the frequencies. So I, whatever, whatever ingredients that give me balance, this is what I do. And at the same time, when I feel like too overloaded with light, I am drawn to the earth things, like normal stuff. That's helping me. Trying to follow what makes me happy, it's helping me a lot because it would not be worth it to be psychic and gifted if I can have a happy human life because I think it is what I'm learning in this life. So I am committed to have a happy human life. And if I identify that I'm not, that I'm feeling sad or frustrated or whatever, I say to my kids, you know what? Let's go out. So I almost trying that I have the ingredients that I need, so I do my best in the moment. I hope that makes sense. Type your questions if you want to. I'm going to try to do my best to reply to them. I'm going to do a little bit of light language so I can bring the guys for the ones that were asking for healing. And I want to invoke our future self, the one who knows what's going to happen in 22 and 23 and 24 and 25 and 2030, the one who can guide us to where to go. Because if we would go back to our past, I'm sure we will give a lot of clues to our inner child or teenager about the things that I think you should avoid this or two couple things, right? It will be helpful. So let's do that today if you guys are in agreement. Close your eyes, please, with me, just like for 10 minutes. I'm going to invoke your higher self to be in charge. I'm going to ask your own guides to assist me with healing, with guidance. So any question that I was not able to reply, it can come through right now through your own intuition. I would like to ask also your galactic higher self, because in this video we're talking about connecting with alien disclosure, because it is happening right now and maybe it's going to happen before we realize. I cannot pinpoint a date because I don't think I can see that yet, but I think it's happening gradually. Okay, I'm going to close my eyes and I'm going to ask your future self, the one from this life, but the one from the future, your ascended future self. The only thing that I want you to do, I want you to identify your center. My center is in my heart. Some people have their center in their stomach. Others have them in their throat. Others have them in their back. I have seen it as well in the head. So just identify what part of your body feels like at ease. I'm going to do a light language from New Earth. I welcome New Earth Collective. Tishka tara soro mate ki ishka hua ate niaka Hikitako ose. Nia na te iki ishka. Ti hasake te karakotorokoshka te kiana. Ni nia yate iki asakuto uma ate iki ishka ti ikiana. Breathe and allow your energy to adjust in the degree that you can uplift yourself into new earth frequency. We are here with you, Nashka Tarakuso Komaki Ikia Teki Eshka Tikahaya Kitakosoma Iteki Ishkiana. Our healing hands with stream key codes from New Earth to elevate, uplift, cleanse, heal, or upgrade DNA if that it is needed, according to the instructions of your own higher self and soul. Let's do that now. Ni ishka ti isahai te eki ashka ti ikiana. Breathe and center yourself. And the more aware you are of the breath that comes in and out, the more connected to the earth you will be. Niya teshka kura tase ialela, leala te isoa ki ishka, kuala te iki ishka te ikiana. You have New Earth in your center. It's not a destination. It's a journey you tune into by matching a frequency of love. Te ekara turuseshka. Tika saki anake da karokomaki eshka tekiaya. Smile if you can. Healing doesn't have to be on a struggle. Eshka tara uso kia kia na ala ite kia ska soikia. When you smile, you send messages unconsciously into your cells, your physical body, your tissue, your emotions, your ideas, that they are in allowance to receive love and light. Tekara soroshka tikiana ase kia te ikiashka. And many of you ask, when am I going to be on 5D? How do I know? You are in 5D when you are in a constant emanation of love. When you feel happy because you gaze at the sun, because you were able to be speechless in the sunrise, because you hug your friend, because you were able to cuddle with your pet or have peace in your mind. That it is what 5D will represent for each of you. The more that you are in those states of peacefulness, the more you will match that frequency for the rest of your reality. If you feel as simple as that, struggling, suffering, in pain, that it is 3D matrix. What we suggest to do, first of all, be aware that it is the first step that you are meant to change direction. Secondly, make the choice. And that comes just by shifting inward. If you can, if you don't know how to do it, ask your soul, your spirit, your higher self, whoever you trust the most. But anything that makes you feel in battle, drained, tired, weak, it is the old ways of being. Ones that they are meant to be deconstruct and release. It is as if you are in the flow of the ocean. You are the flow. Under the water you cannot breathe because you will drown. You can do it for a little bit, but if you stayed longer, you may die. So you have to go outside and breathe air and oxygen so your body doesn't die, isn't it? And then you flow between above the level of the water when you can breathe the air, and then inside the water where you can flow. And you have those two perspectives, the light and the shadow. The light helps you to recognize what you truly are. And the shadow helps you to explore, to move, to flow in different directions. So you understand how it is that you became the light. As simple as that. Te ishkatara, ke lela etiki elama. Ni la de alasoro te leeshkitiki ayakute iki ishka. If you would like to get contacted with the Galactics, you just have to set your intention. But in order for you to recognize that you are already contacting with them, the first step it is to match the frequency where you can perceive, recognize, and discern that you are connected. And the easiest way it is through meditation. The language of the light, it is an easy technique that it was used by your ancestors so they could speak with their own gods. And you can use that because in that way you block the mind from leading and the ego, and you can use your heart. We can say that the heart and the feeling, it is the vortex of access to a higher dimension. Te ishkatara osoro mate iki ishkati iki ina. If you are a human that would like to have the intention and think that disclosure should be happen, set that as an intention and ask that when that happened has in the best way, in the best moment, and in the highest for all of you. Because that is not going to happen until all of you agrees that it is time. It's going to be as if your whole consciousness shift instantly. And many of you, when that happens, is going to feel like a wave of light, like a breeze, like a mist that get in connection with each of you. And when that happens, you are going to visible, in a very visible form, see galactics coming to assist you. But in this timeline, they will never overrule you. Because it was happened before, and it was decided that some took advantage of their power, and Earth was encapsulated a long time ago. So it was agreed that in this timeline, they would not be able to intervene physically, only through your own willingness. So many of them decide to born as humans so they could create change here. Each of you are the Buddha, the Christ consciousness that was born here to create change in disguise, in a human form. And this is the most important step that we believe each of you should do right now, to remember who you are. So you can walk your reality with the steps of the God. Another thing that we see it is that meditation helps you to practice and to get in contact with your intuition, because when you meditate, you are indeed channeling your soul. We do suggest that meditation daily, it is going to be imperative for many of you to find your own harmony with Gaia. But we also believe that there is sort of a disconnection with the planet with many humans right now at this time. And that disconnection creates a struggle. And that struggle and disconnection create more weather distortions do happen because humans should be in harmony with Gaia, with the animals, with the plants. So if you are thinking what I can do to feel better at ease, reconnect with plants, animals, with the air, with the minerals, in the way that works out for you because each of you are a unique miracle and so are we. We are not better than you, we are the same expression of God in a different frequency. And that frequency, it is decided by the intention of the soul about the reality that decided to have experience. Another mind marker for each of you to know that you are vibrating in your earth, it is when you are at peace. Peace will let you know that you are vibrating high. Love, flutter, relaxation allow you to shift into any dimension that you can access due to your soul's will. We do think these simple steps will help you to match a higher reality sooner than what you expected. Many of the things that will be experienced at the collective level are part of divine order about what your collective has decided they wanted to experience for the greatest evolution of the souls in unity consciousness. Try to become neutral about the things that you may see and know that it's always a positive benefit from happening. That positive benefit in every situation will be at least 51%. Another thing that we would like to suggest it is that if you feel the eye of the storm, learn to find your center and use simplicity so you know what to do, where you should go. Many things are changing right now because the 3D matrix is being dismantled. But many souls in this earth at this time are choosing to still experience the 3D matrix because they keep learning. What is happening at the energy level, it is a separation between 3 and 5. It is happening, and that is what you call 4D. But that separation causes certain situations from being experienced until the separation it is complete. Be aware that greater purpose always keep the balance of the whole. There is a greater ripple effect happening in so many directions beyond your own experience as individual. Many galactics and even the heavens are learning from the experience about what is happening here. You are healing many aspects with one struggle. Many ancestral wounds, karmic wounds are being completely erased and deactivated. And that it is a very positive consequence from all the things that you see, that you may perceive as a bad things happening in your present. There is a very unseen seeds of light and love that are being added into this reality, and the shift is coming sooner than you expected, but this shift will be initiated by each of you. We would like to ask now to center yourself, close your eyes, make sure you are comfortable. Your future health, your future self will hold your hands, and it will give you 3 words that will represent guidance. You will see them if you are open in your imagination. You may hear more. It's going to depend on your openness. Let's begin. Tishkate makera elean late kianate ikiashka. Teke sakushka tikiara kamase ti iki ishka tikianate iki ishka tikiana. The space is safe. The information that it is coming, it is for the highest good. So be open to receive. If you have the opportunity, ask questions. Te ishkatara kusomaki te kiaya. Lea lai kia kumai ki te kia sitiki ishka. You may receive images. You may receive a gut feeling. You may hear something. Ask for verification if you are not confident about the information that you are perceiving. Do that now. Tikiara kuro somareki ishka tikiara ki tikiashka tikiana. Ni na te se ko oshka ki tekase kia kiana te iki kiashka tikiana. For the ones that would like to make contact with your galactic family, say yes in your heart. I am ready. I am willing. And your soul and higher self will do the arrangements of those connections. The kitikiarako somaki ishkatikiarako ninanate ishkate isete ekikiaya. For the ones who would like to receive anything else, healing, peace, I'm seeing as if we are receiving a rain or a waterfall of gold spheres. Each sphere has different frequencies. Frequencies of peace, of love, healing, reboost, to revitalize, clarity, calm, patience. For the ones that would like to receive a boost in your immune system, you can request that now. And we will rectify from the 0 point and feel your whole lineage. So your immunological system and your biology, it is the most healthy that you can have at this time. Tiki ishka taro osoro ko tiki ishka ti ikianate iseki ishka. Nikera otoro ose ki ishka ti ikianate ise. Maha ke te alala kianase ti iki ishka. The rectification it is done by injecting unconditional love and source into your DNA. Te era asoko ishka ti ikiana. If you can picture in your mind a DNA helix and see light being injected and perceive and visualize each of those seeds that are part of your DNA helix being reborn, reconstructed. And this time you can set any intentions that you would like to. Terakusoromake ishka tialea lae kialate ikiana. Mite iki ishka tokosoki ite iki ishka tikara otorose kiala. Elea la te iki ishka tikara oso. Mine ne te iki ishka tiara oso. Mie ne te iki ishka. Mie nana na te aseki ishka tikiaya. Now breathe. And we're going to ask you to receive and allow so you can integrate and balance this transmission. Each of you will only receive what is needed in the now, not more, not less. You may feel inspired or lighter, revitalized. Tekiara tarasekoshka tekiana Ilela kiara tere ese kiashka. Tikiara osomai kiana. Kira tera ase kuti iki ishka. Nienana ate ara oso. Ukuri itiki eshka ti ikiana. Mai neara tere ese ku ushka. Tia le laki itiki eshka ti ikiana. If you want, you can ask to change timeline. And if you do, imagine and request what you would like to have in your own reality. Tera atara suro ushkiteki ikina katamasiki ashkata karakole. Eleana te iaki ekotakomai kitiki ishkati kiana. Breathe and receive the integration now. In the highest best, in the best way for all of you. Now breathe and receive the seeds that will stabilize and bring equilibrium between you and the rest that is around the Ishkatara Asikianate. Miananane Dikias Dikiashkatakoma Kikiada. Breathe and receive frequencies of harmony, balance, and equilibrium, of happiness, of joy, inspiration, revitalization, hope, faith. And now breathe one more time. Place your hands in your heart if you feel guided. Visualize yourself being grounded into the fifth and sixth crystalline core of New Earth. Tikiara soro mate ilala kiashkatakara sikiana ili itikiashkati inia. Inala mate isekiashta kitara isotekiashka. So it is done, it is done, it is done. We thank you, we love you, we honor you. See you in the dreams. Thank you so much. That was good. I lose my voice a little bit. Thank you so much for being here. Give yourself a few minutes to ground. Let me see if I can read your messages to see if I have any question that I can answer right now while you guys ground. At this time, Summerly, find your own balance. This is what you guys are saying. Faye Robbins, connect with peace. More. Not able to see all of the messages. And I will do them later. I'll do them later. Oh, my face is red, right? Feel drowned, guys, trying to tell me in my dreams. Gabriel, how do you feel in your dreams? Dreams sound like a metaphor, like a representation for whatever happens. That has make sense. Thank you. Try to go back and remember how do you feel in each of those dreams. And in the feeling, it is the answer. I think it's not just one answer. I think it's many answers. So try to go and remember how do you felt. I hope that makes sense. Guys, remember the future we choose it. We choose it. Doesn't sound right. We create it. But The future of tomorrow is going to be the now of tomorrow. So the most important moment we have, it's now. The more present we are, the more in our body we are, the more we are capable and able to explore the galaxy and the future and the past and all different dimensions. The more in your body you are, the more clear messages you have, and the more centered you are, and the more like things make sense. Sometimes information is not going to come to make sense because we're not there yet. And sometimes we try to force it before it is time. It is like if I give a kid's the keys from a car to a 5-year old, he's not going to be able to drive it because he's not there yet. But in a few years, he will. Sometimes I have questions for people and want to know right now. I want to know right now, what does this mean? Tell me this code or whatever. And if we are meant to know, we will know. If we don't know, it's because we are not meant to know yet. And it is not a bad thing. It is because we are still learning from that thing. So allow yourself to learn, to explore, to flow, because the journey, it is the exploration. It's not that new earth now, or I got married, or I graduated. It's not that. It is how it is it that I got there. And sometimes we miss the beautiful things that this present can bring to all of us. And I think this is the most important message that I can give to you. This is what I am doing for myself. I'm making changes about the things that I'm always making changes in my life, with my kids, with a person that I love, with my family. And I don't know everything, of course, but I have realized that when I don't know something, it is because I'm not there yet. What I should force it. I I just allow things to be the best way that they are meant to be. Thank you so much for being here. For the ones that were with me in the telepathy class, I'm still waiting to be uploaded. I ask whoever assists me with the videos, my assistant, to edit the sound a little bit. My AC is very noisy, and sometimes that is too hard to turn it off. Have like a zzz thing on it. Yes, Pamela, what do you want to ask? I will send it today or tomorrow for whoever requested, and for the ones that are in the membership, I'm going to just upload it directly to you. The next, I have been given some signs in journaling, but I am like, I will come fully when it's ready. Yes, you will. You will come fully when you are ready, and so am I. It's what matters. What matters, I think, it is being in our own flow, in our own pacing, because it's not what others are doing, it is what I am doing, but not actually what I am doing, but more like what I am being. I hope that makes sense. Love you so, 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 so much. I'm gonna make few changes in the services. For next month, I'm going to add a healing session because I have been having people asking me that they have been forced to vaccinated and stuff like that. So I am going to add a session regarding to just the physical body, and I'm going to add another session about shadow work. And for September, I am finishing a pack of meditations with Jeshua, with Christ, Healing the Divine Masculine, that I am going to add for a course for the equinox. The next equinox is going to be in September 22, I believe. So I decided to heal Divine Masculine because many of the distortions that we are seeing right now in our collective, from control, restriction, abuse, violence, anger, things like that, are connected with the masculine energy. Yes, I am going to add it. I mean, I can do it in a healing session, but I'm going to add one regarding vaccinations. I know people that I don't think I will vaccinate unless I have to for some reason that I'm taking care of my body, but I have friends who choose to get vaccinated because war related things like that. And the ones that prepare for it have like zero consequences. But some people that have not prepared, they get sick after get vaccinated, things like that. It may be coincidence, it may not be not. I'm not gonna enter into those things. But I do believe our mindset is so powerful. So if we think that vaccine is not going to affect us and we have to take it because of work or traveling or whatever, it won't. But if I do believe it's going to have nanotechnology that is going to make me a zombie, probably it will. Because we do have a placebo effect that is very powerful. So be aware about what it is your belief about COVID virus and vaccines, and if it's working out for you, and if it's not. I'm not gonna say what to do because I think it's a personal choice, and I don't think I'm no one to influence in your own choice. But let's go with the flow. Let's go with what we see, we perceive, and what you should do. But my take on it is taking responsibility in my body. I'm doing exercise. My kids are doing exercise. We are taking supplements, eating the more healthy that we can. And this is, I think, the precautions that I'm doing in myself. Yes, but that is something that I'm doing for myself, that I'm doing in the sessions that you can do regarding COVID and pandemic and this go to source like the way we did it on the channeling and rectify your whole lineage. Because this pattern, it wasn't born in 2020. It was born in so many centuries that we had so many pandemics from all kinds of things in all kinds of countries. So we are healing our ancestors with this learning about control and freedom that we have been playing around in the collective. Yes, anything helps. Anything that you're guided to do, it helps. You can do a meditation, you can go into the astral and heal, but anything you do that you think helps you, as that is done at all planes, at all times, because we do have many, many parallel lives colliding all together. That's why sometimes things change, things come out of the blue, and it is because we are still drink a lot of lemon water. Yes, a lot of water. That's a great tip. Lemon water. Another thing it is putting your feet on earth because earth actually filters, take away. It is like when you put your feet directly to earth or in the sun, it feels like earth vacuums any toxins. Maybe it doesn't come from vaccinated, but maybe it came from food, from pollution, for whatever. And then it help us to get rid of those negative seeds because otherwise they come through anger, frustration, depression, whatever, many things. So whatever you think is working out for you, go for it. For me, I'm doing a lot of vitamin C, a lot. I have like orange juice every day, and then vitamins. And we haven't got sick at all from 2020, not even a flu, not at all. So I think it's a good thing. But whatever you feel guided to do, go for it. But ask, follow your intuition, and I think we're more powerful than any program of control, whatever that may be running around, but it will depend on what we would like to experience. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for the star. See you guys soon. Next time I will do readings. But this time I can read because it's not showing in my tablet and in my phone I don't have service. I don't know why. I don't have service. So my apologies, but next time I will do readings for your guides. Bye bye.